Hey my people, so I'm in the middle of filming that beautiful fun eye tutorial that you saw on the last video on Wednesday. So I am doing a what's this? Num num nums. Okay. Doing a review on the Born This Way concealer. I am the shade of Maple. So, few things I have to say. As of right now, I do prefer the Tarte concealer in my and this is the closest shade to the Tarte one that I have, and in the Tarte one I'm in the shade Deep, but I will say this one runs a little bit more red. Plus, all I need is one dunk because watch how this stuff blends out. It's so full coverage, and I will say I like it more with a brush than a sponge because I feel like with a sponge later in the day, because I do have really oily skin, but later in the day, it just looks like it's sitting on top of my skin, especially when it's set with powder. And the thing is, I use a lot of powder because I'm usually really oily. But the thing is, I gotta get used to this concealer. I'm still working with it, but this concealer doesn't need as much powder because it's a lot drier than the Shape Tape. And also, I wouldn't say it layers well with my under eye concealer because I use a completely different concealer for my under eye, and it doesn't layer well because it's so full coverage. It blends all the way up here, and I usually stop about right here for when I'm covering my face with like my foundation concealer because I go like all the way down here with my highlight concealer. But this shade runs a lot more red, a lot more orange. It's a lot more orange, as you can probably even see on my face. I look pretty orange, and the Shape Tape is a little bit more neutral. I'm gonna add one more layer, but it's very very full coverage. Compare because one wand, like one dip, can cover my entire face. I couldn't say that with the Shape Tape. I could probably use two and a half or three. And for $2 more, you get so much more product. The Shape Tape is $27 currently, and because it went up in price since they first launched it, and it is 0.33 ounces. The Born This Way is 0.5 ounces and $29. So for $2 more, you get a lot more product. I was like, this is literally half the size of a foundation, literally, because most foundations are 1 fluid ounce. This is half. And I was like, wow, that will save me so much money and last me so much longer that I would actually be able to experiment with makeup, having limited money because I'll have so much more product. So I do like the look of it from a distance. I feel like it looks very smooth and everything like that once it's set with powder. But like I said, the skin shade, it's a little off. It's very orange until I set it with powder. And the thing is, it doesn't like to let go of the powder once I put the powder on top of it. So it's it's still something I'm just working with, but so far I like it. Like I do, but I don't. I prefer the Tarte Shape Tape, like I said. But as you can see, it just goes on flawlessly. But like, there's a clear difference. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a clear difference between my face and like my ear and my neck. It's very orange. But this was the closest shade to my shade in Shape Tape, and Shape Tape is actually lighter than my skin. So, no, it's a little bit darker, but it's a lot lighter than this. So it's something I'm just gonna have to work with, and mm, I will say it does hold down my oils better, like a lot better. Like Shape Tape, eventually they'll come through. Like it holds pretty well. I never have a problem with that. This one, there's no oil coming through this at all for me. Barely. If it's a little bit, it's like right here, but that's it. Like barely anything. And on top of that, what I will say is like this one looks better from a distance. But up close, I feel like you can see my texture so much more than if I use Shape Tape. I feel like with the Shape Tape, it really hides my texture a lot more. But also, it is called the creaseless concealer, so it kind of smooths over everything. So that's my little review on the Born This Way foundation concealer. because I use concealers as foundation. Sorry. So I would say it's up to you. You try it, see what you like. And also, I like a more medium coverage, which is what I felt the Shape Tape gave me. So I feel like it's just like how what you like. Maybe your skin undertones. Like I said, this brown's really reddish orange because I look kind of reddish orange right now. Kind of. Mm, mm. But I feel like you just have to try it yourself and see what you like about it. For me, it's something I'm gonna have to grow with or see. I didn't put primer on. Oh my god. Well, oh my god. I didn't put primer. So it's something that I'm gonna have to work with. Get to see what works with different products with it, and especially with my skin type, which is really oily. See what gives it a little bit more luminosity because it is very dry compared to the Shape Tape. I say it has more shine, as you can see, but it's drier. Like it's a drier formula. When I set this with powder, it's over. So I'm gonna come back with my face set and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, I'm back with my face set and a little bit of contour because I use my loose powder to blend my contour. So I use the Fit Me Loose powder, and as you can see, I look a little gray, especially like in this section, my forehead, and a little bit right here. And that's where I did not put any other type of concealer or anything like that because I don't. But you can see, like I said, this concealer really likes to stick to the powder. Like the powder will, it clings on to it tight, and that's also part what makes it really drying because it sticks so tight to powder. Oh, I look really pale. I'm not that pale in person, I promise. But also, so this line here, you can probably see my nose looks slightly contoured. So this is my highlight concealer and up the center of my nose. The rest is a regular concealer. It's the same shade, in person at least. You can tell it's the same shade as my contour powder. Is that not blended? I should probably blend that a little bit more. But it's the same shade as my contour powder, which means, yeah, this concealer is orange, dark, not the right color. But with the powder set, it works out. Another thing I will say about this is compared to the Shape Tape, I feel like this blended out with either a brush or a sponge, but more likely a sponge. I feel like it sits on top of the skin instead of actually get into the skin. Like from a distance, yeah, I told you it looks great, especially once my oils kick in. It'll warm up back up to my normal skin tone. I'll look less pale, but it looks really flawless from a distance. But you get up close, I feel like my texture is so much more visible than it would be with the Shape Tape. And if I was using the Laura Mercier powder instead, I feel like it would be so beyond, like, it's there, girl. It's there. You have texture. No. Get away from me, texture. Like that. Like, it would be scary. But so that's my review. Where it go? I lost it. Okay, that's my review on the Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer, and I'm in shade maple. Like I said, it's not necessarily a good review. It's not necessarily a bad review, but like I said, I just gotta work with it and see how it works for me. But I'm Faced by Trevi. Click my face right over here to subscribe. Watch some of my other videos, maybe this one that I did on Wednesday, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and don't forget to share. We're almost at 200 subscribers. Bye.